I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money.
The DSP story.
Sure. I will agree with you on that. The show today has nothing to do with me. I'm not trying to take credit for it whatsoever in that regard. You've done good for yourself, putting it in its new own space, and it stands out. Okay. So getting back to now, because we did get derailed there talking about the beforehand. So the interview happens. All of a sudden, all eyes are on you guys because you did this interview with DSP. Friday is supposed to be a decompression stream with Mario Kart, but instead it turns into something else. So now let's get into this. So what actually went down on that Friday show for you?
Yeah, we went in, we talked about things, and we do what we do every day. We just talked about what's in the news. The difference was that we were the news, and the interview was the news in the sphere. And people wanted to hear our thoughts about it for the first time, and that was the first time we got together. So, you listen to your audience, and when the audience says, we want to hear your thoughts about what happened yesterday, you do that. And for us, it was a Friday, so naturally we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna give the weekend to decompress, and then we're gonna resume the show on normal on Monday. It doesn't matter if Mario Kart was played or not. The intention was still the same, was to talk about what just happened the day before for the first time, just like you did the day before with the decompression stream. Mm-hmm. Now, was it what you wanted to hear? No. But was it honest? Yes. And honestly, I think that when it comes to the reasons why we were upset was, and specifically Adam was upset, was because he smelt shit, and whenever he'd say it, it was like talking in circles. And I think that there's like a lot of that stemmed from the WWE Champions thing. That's where a lot of the meat came from, right? So we asked you about that several times. We got the runaround on it. We all knew it was the runaround, right? We talked about you sharing your account, and then that didn't happen, and that was when the internet went out and everything associated with that. And so we were upset about it, right? Because we smelt the shit. And I think that there's actually a lot of irony when it comes to this, in that just was yesterday, I get sent clips to you all the time, and leading up to this especially, where you talked about WWE Champions, and you said that you spent for forever lying about it, right? So with that said, do you think that you admitted to lying about this, right? Do you think that we had a right to be upset because we felt you were lying? We knew you were lying. You admitted to lying. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that we had a right to be upset the next day?
Well, let me put it into these terms. Okay, when a guest is going to be on a show and is going to be interviewed, and they know there's going to be hard-hitting questions, and that was all previously established. All right, we knew all this was going to happen. That's why I agreed to do the interview, because I felt like this was going to be the definitive interview or whatever. Okay, never in my wildest dreams did I expect that the next day after the interview you were going to do that. You didn't even tell the public you were going to do that. And now let's be honest here. What actually happened on that Friday show is you talked to my detractors almost the entire show. You were reading all of their contributions as they rolled in. I think some of them were previously from the interview the day before. I want to be fair here. I think there were leftovers you hadn't shouted out the day before. And then there was a ton of contributions that came in that day from my detractors. So you just sat there reading them. And okay, you're upset with me. You don't believe me. You smell shit. All right. But there's a difference between saying, well, we just did this big interview, we don't believe him, versus actually actively participating in memes that they have about me. Your entire cast laughed ack on the show, Craig, together, as if this was something funny to do to deride Phil. I was the guest on your show the day before for 5 hours. Mm-hmm. I was on your show and answered hard-hitting questions. You didn't have to believe the answers.
Hold on. Did you answer? Because you
I did. Oh, indeed, I answered. You just didn't like the answers.
Phil, don't flip that on me, because you didn't. You were dishonest with us, and we smelt that.
It's still an answer. It doesn't matter if it's honesty or not. It's still an answer.
Then let me ask you this, Phil. Will you apologize for lying to us? Because that's where a lot of that came from. It's we knew you were lying, right?
Okay.
And I gave you an opportunity multiple times. I remember pleading with you, Phil, just come clean on this. And the opportunity was there. And had you just come clean at that instance, everybody would move past this. So I do think that, once again, why were we upset, Phil? What's the root of all this? We felt and we knew and we smelt a lie. We smelt it, right? So, and you admitted yesterday to lying to us. So that to me stings because you're not only lying to me, you're lying to your audience, you're lying to my audience, and you're lying to everybody else. So you should apologize to me and Adam and Travis and Blabs and everybody else who watched that show because they were expecting the definitive DSP interview, and what they got was lies. That's not definitive, Phil. That's the issue I had with this.
Okay, now since we're getting into the nuance of it now, let's go talk, because the lies you're talking about are WWE champions. That's what we're talking about. Let's hone in on
but will you apologize though? Because that's
let's hold on. Let's talk. Let's do this. All right. Let's like man to man. Don't demand something from me now. Let's talk like men.
I'm asking.
Okay. If in that interview, all right, I had been honest with you and completely transparent, and I said fessed up to everything, right? Immediately you would have said, "That's great. Prove it." Correct? You would have said, "Prove everything you're saying."
We gave you the opportunity to.
Okay. Now let's be real about this, because I don't want you to lie to the internet about it. I want to be real about this.
I'm not going to lie to the internet. I'm not.
In that interview, all right, you said to me, show me evidence of what stuff you're saying, show me screen captures or whatever. And I'm going to be honest with you. No, I was never going to do that on the fly, because I'm the kind of guy, I want to make sure if I'm going to do something like that, I want to make sure everything's safe. I want to make sure it's correct. I'm not going to send you something just to say it wasn't good enough. I want you to show you the definitive evidence to prove what I'm saying or whatever. Okay. So I'm thinking in my head during the interview, because I didn't know you were going to hit me with that. Honestly, I thought you were just going to ask me questions and I was going to answer. I didn't know you were going to say, this is your opportunity to actually clear this up. I never thought you would do that. So when I'm thinking in my head, okay, how can I prove it? How can I do this? How can I do that? I need to get this stuff together for you, right? And you had left the door open. In fact, this is what near the end of the interview we were talking about this. If you want to, clarify everything, you can send it to me after we're done here. We even left the door open for that, correct? You remember that, right? I'm not making that up. That was correct.
Right. And to be clear, I actually have our emails pulled up.
Sure.
Which if you have those pulled up, I think that you can read your part and I can read my part, just so everybody is on the same page and there's full clarity on all this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I don't need to read them. I know exactly what they say.
Well, I think it's important just so this is us talking, but
yeah,
we'd be ignorant to say that there's not a couple, few thousand people who once again, this is part of the story of how we got here, right? So I do think it's important because I don't want to leave any context out. So do you mind if I read our emails after the just our back and forth that we had after, because I think it does provide context to what we're talking about here.
Sure. This is the email that was sent after I got off the show.
Yeah.
Because I believe there was an email then, and then I emailed you again after I'd eaten dinner about, are you available? Are you going to be checking this email box? And that was where we had left it. And then the next day you emailed me something in the morning, correct? That's the chain of events.
Okay, so it happened on I guess we talked March 16th of last year, right? So you emailed me at 8:18 and said, "Hey Craig, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on how the show went. I really hope that it was a big benefit to you guys. If so, this may have been the only time in history that my infamy has actually helped something. I know you'll want to get back to normalcy, but I'm looking forward to hearing from you again about the possible next appearance. My viewers are telling me that they think that you and Adam were too harsh, but I disagree completely. As I told you on the podcast, you are nothing but fair. But there is pretty much 100% consensus that the Keemstar bit was intrusive, gave him free plugs for his own content, and took away about an hour that should have been more on topic. I didn't mind. I didn't mind, but that's the vibe my viewers are sharing with me. I would likely be best for a repeat appearance to just be us, to avoid people feeling like it was a quote surprise or trick or shock me. How often do you check this email? I'm still 50-50 on showing you my champions account at this point, especially because of what Keemstar said. I feel nobody would believe you even if you vouched for me, but I respect you and still considering it, despite the fact I'm incredibly scared my info will once again leak and hurt me." So that was the email that you sent me at 8:18.
Okay, which was 5:18 my time. Well, actually, I don't know what time zone you are, but it was
Central. So 6:18 your time.
Gotcha. Okay? So it was right after dinner. Correct. Okay. Now I will clarify what was going on. Okay. Now, did you see my show last night where I told the truth about WWE champions for the very first time? Have you seen that at all, or did you just hear about it?
I had a clip sent to me, but
okay.
I haven't like watched the whole thing. I've watched like 90 seconds of it.
In a nutshell, all right. Yeah, the account was mine. I had it for many years. And after years of harassment by my detractors, I sold the account, okay? So at the time that we're doing this interview, I don't have access to the account. So I can't prove really anything, right? All I could do is I could show you like a new account, which is the account that I had currently. If you remember, you would ask me straight up in the interview, "Hey, do you still play WWE Champions?" "Yes, I do." But it's on this new account. It's not the original account that the detractors knew about and were stalking me for all these years.
So I don't really care about WWE.
Okay, no, fair, but
really
here's
I
understand, but you have to understand the situation. So I'm saying to you, I'm 50-50 on sending it, but if you had said to me, "Yeah, okay, I'm still open to it," I was going to show you the new account. I was going to try to explain all this to you and say, this is why I can't just on a whim show you everything. It wouldn't have worked. You easily could have said, "Oh, you made this up. This is a bullshit new account or whatever."
Yeah.
It's a convoluted story. It is.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your response to me reaching out to you saying, "Hey, I have the information. I'm 50-50 on it." What was your response to that?
Yeah. So, and once again, let's make sure we have all references here.
Mhm.
It's you send that March 16th at 18 p.m. So
Mhm.
it's evening time for me, right? My morning routine is I wake up and I start prepping for the show, right? So we're live at 11. I'm getting up. I'm getting prepped for everything. I have not checked this email, right? I've not
Mhm.
checked this email, and because I told you prior to in our original correspondence, I don't check this email. I don't check this email very often. Sometimes it'll go weeks before I check the email, right? So you know this. So so you send me that email. The following day, March 17th, I respond at 7:45. That's the next time we have any sort of correspondence.
Is that AM or PM?
That is PM.
Okay.
So it's been about 23 hours.
And you've
okay?
already done your show for Friday. It's already taken
Correct.
place.
It
Okay.
is done. So here's my response to you. I said, and I felt like this was a very fair assessment of things. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. I said, "Hey Phil, I think the show went okay yesterday. We talked about it at length on today's show as a debrief. I think we all left the interview mentally exhausted and feeling incredibly frustrated as at the end of the day, we want what's best for you, man. The things that are laid out about everything, the WWE mobile games, the bank stuff, etc. It just doesn't make sense, man. There's too much evidence saying it's yours, and your only evidence is just saying it's not. I feel like we gave you multiple opportunities to turn this thing around, but you just seem so dug in. Even in the face of insanely detailed evidence, you wouldn't take it. Even with Keemstar coming on, I tried to lay out the similarities you feel towards him and the way people feel about you based off of things that you've said online. It was tough. Honestly, I'm just disappointed, man. Like I said, I and we want what's best for you, man. We very much do, but you have to want what's best for yourself. When you're ready to take that step, I will gladly help you, man. Help you, man, on your journey. You deserve to get to level 2. I know you can do it. And that's the email that I sent to you. And I think that was very fair. I did not lie to you and be like, "Hey, Phil, it was great. It was spectacular. Can't wait to set up number 2." As I said in the email, we were exhausted from it, and mentally tired from it, physically tired from it, and we talked about that. We talked about that on the following debrief. So, had we done that debrief immediately after the show, chances are we would have said the exact same thing. Probably worse, But you can see in that email, we felt lied to. We felt exhausted, right? And the reality is, Phil, we were lied to, right? So, and self-admittedly, you said we were lied to, and we knew that. So naturally, when somebody lies to you and continues to lies to you, you're going to be upset.
Right.
So we were
Fair
upset.
enough. Okay. So I will confirm everything that Craig just said is true. That is correct, was what was in those emails. I know for a fact that's exactly how it transpired. Okay. So now he said it. I didn't say it. He said it. He literally read the emails word for word. No one can say that I made this up. Okay. So we got to follow the order of events. I'm on your interview. 5 hours, hard-hitting questions. I lie to you about WWE champions. You leave the door open and say, "You can send me the information after to clarify all of this." Okay? That was said directly in the interview. You agree to that, right, Craig? You did say that. I go on my show. I say, "That was a good interview. I'm okay with it." I even email you, say, "I'm okay with it. I'm 50-50 about sending you the stuff. Do you check your email?" You literally just publicly admitted you don't check your email. Right?
Well, in this situation, yeah, it'd been a day. Yeah.
So you ended an interview, the hottest piece of content you had ever made at that point on Sidescrollers. You knew all eyes were on you. You knew people were looking to see if I was going to follow up with you and send you this information. And you decided not to check your email, but instead to do a show ragging on me the next day. Is that a correct statement?
I would say that in between me ending the show, being done with the internet for the day, going to sleep, and waking up the next day and then doing the show, like Phil, as we said at the time, you had one opportunity to send the stuff. It wasn't there, right? You passed on that.
Whoa. Passed on what? You just admitted the door was open to send you the information when I got it together.
During the show, Phil, during the interview.
Craig, we're on an interview and a show. Craig. We're in an interview. The idea of the interview is for me to answer your questions. It's not stop the interview let me dig into documents and get you screenshots and things proving that's not what the interview was. Never once before the interview did you ever say that's what it was going to be. And like I said, if I'm going to send you something, it has to be sure that it's proving my point. This was a convoluted story. It's not I could just send you a screenshot. I got to try to prove now that I've got a new account and it's not the old account, that I sold the account. This is complicated. It's not something I can just do during the show. I was literally, to be transparent with you now, as I sent you that email, I had everything ready. I told you I was 50-50. I literally had it all ready to go. And all you had to do was check your email and say, I'm here, Phil. I'll check it. And I would have sent it to you and you would have had it. And instead of having a Friday show where all you did was beat me up all day, you would have had the Friday show saying the big reveal. DSP cleared the air. He said he was a liar, but here's the truth. But you didn't check your email. You told me.
Like, what do you want? What do you want, dude? Like, I'm sorry that I didn't check my email for 23 hours. That's not how people communicate in 2023. And I know that's how you communicated, but like, I didn't check my email for 23 hours, and I'm sorry that I didn't check my email for 23 hours. I apologize for that. Will you apologize for lying?
I apologize for lying, but I don't want your apology that you didn't check your email. I want your apology for being completely disingenuous about everything that happened after the fact, after the interview. That's what I want.
But the thing is, Phil, I don't think we were being disingenuous. Like, I think we were being completely honest with how we felt. You know, like I said, we spent 5 hours talking to you, getting the runaround, man. And like, it was not meant to be like, this was, once again, I go back to the definitive Dark Side Phil interview, and it wasn't. So I'm disappointed in that because there's things that you're telling us now you lied about. We felt it. We knew it was happening in real time. We felt like we were getting gaslit. So naturally, yes, I felt exhausted and tired, and honestly, didn't want to deal with you, which is why in that email I said, look, man, we're just disappointed. Like I said, I want what's best for you. We very much do, but you have to want to help yourself. Is lying to us on stream helping yourself? No, of course not. You deserve to get to level 2. I know you can do it. Right?
Craig, what you told me in that email you sent me on Friday, basically in other words says, we don't actually care what the truth is because I had the truth and was going to send it to you and you ignored me.
No, it's not that I ignored you. It's because I didn't check the email. And
that's called ignoring because you knew that was our line of communication. You asked me to send you the information I was going to, and you chose not to check it. You actively ignored the way that I could have cleared my name. And then you went on to do a show that made you tons of money defaming me on the internet. That's exactly what happened. And there's no way that you can ever clarify that because it's in black and white. You just admitted it. You read it. You just admitted it publicly that you didn't check the line of communication we had that I could have cleared the whole situation.
Is this like the gotcha? Like,
there's no gotcha. There's no gotcha. Okay. You read it. I actually wasn't going to read the emails. You did it.
Phil, I don't apologize for not checking my email for 23 hours. I'm an adult with a family and kids, and honestly, I was tired of it. Right? The fact that I did check my email on Friday night was fascinatingly amazing that I did that. Right? That's a big dub. But I'm sorry that you felt betrayed that I didn't check my email. And once again, there's a big difference between ignoring because I didn't know the email was there in the first place. You have to know it was there to actively ignore it. I did not actively ignore your email. I didn't know it happened. So I can't ignore something that I didn't know happened.
Craig, in the interview, we ended it with, the door is open. You can send me the information. So you didn't know it happened. Do you need to have a bomb go off when someone sends you the thing you directly asked for? Would you not even in a moment think, hey, maybe he's going to contact me today about this and I should check, you know, because how else am I going to send you these documents anyway, by the way? It has to be an email attachment, right? I can't just call you and give it to you. I didn't have your Discord or anything, right? We were doing it through some other streaming client. So I had to send you an email. All right. Now, here's the thing. We can talk about this for the rest of the show.
Allow me to kind of.
One more. And then I want to move on because this is
Sure. And that's fine. I'm just going based off of our track record of emailing back and forth. Okay. I'm just looking at how we emailed back and forth leading up to this thing. Right. There's pretty much at least a day between every correspondence that we had. Right. Almost every single time there's at least a day between our correspondence. So based off of our track record of corresponding with each other, I'm not going to go, like I said,
Craig, this is a really bad cope, bro. This is really bad. You're saying, we just ended the interview. You said the door is open, send me the information. And then you just say, well, I'm just not going to check for the information. That's a bad cope. Previously, our correspondence was never a reason for you to check right away. Now you had a reason and you didn't. Instead, you actually did the opposite. Instead of giving me the fair shake, but see if I was going to send you stuff, you went on a show defaming me the entire next day. That's the worst situation possible for you, but you didn't care.
Phil, you got me. I didn't check my email. I'm sorry. Hey, with that said, why do you need me? If you want to put this out there, like, you have an X account, you have a Twitter account, You have social media. You have a YouTube community tab. You can post all this stuff available, right? Like literally right now. You said you have it pulled up. Like you had all this stuff available. It's still got to be on your computer somewhere.
Is this your gotcha moment? You're gonna try to get me to post my shit on the internet?
No, Phil. I'm saying is you don't need me. You never did need me, right?
And that's actually untrue, because what you don't understand, Craig, because again, you didn't know this, is that any time that I try to defend myself, the detractors move the goalpost. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a little innocuous thing that doesn't matter at all. It could be a big, full-blown lie that I've been doing for years. Whenever I try to do something, all right, they move the goalpost. Right now, I could post all the information up, and they would say, that's fake. That's not true. So it doesn't matter what I post or what I don't. Now, in the case of you, you have presented yourself as a neutral third party. You were going to be someone who was going to do this interview and be fair, and then you were going to judge for yourself, which actually seems like that's what happened, except you didn't actually give me the opportunity to send you the information to clear my name and tell you what really was going on. Now, whether or not you checked your email or not, it's not a big deal.
I'm sorry I didn't check my email, and I would like to take this moment to apologize to you and to apologize to all of your champions, and especially all the detractors for not checking my email for 23 hours. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay, so let's move on from the email, because this is going to be so boring if we keep talking about this. And I know that your time is valuable. You said you can only be here for about 90 minutes, right? So
I got about another 20 minutes, yeah.
Okay. The next day you do a show. The entire show you're ragging on me, saying you didn't believe me at all. You laugh. Okay, go ahead.
Which you didn't give us reason to.
Okay.
You admitted to yesterday.
Fair enough. You laughed with my detractors. You did all the memes. You got a whole bunch of detractor contributions, correct? That did happen.
Sure.
Okay. Did you continue to do content based on me after this at all?
Not especially. You know, I think there was a, I don't remember the context of it, but I remember seeing, you said something about us, and I was just kind of like done with it. And I think I went live, and I did what was called a monetize the hater stream. And, but I don't remember the context of it, but I remember being like I was done with it, right? That's the thing, Phil, you got to understand, like we've done almost 400 episodes of Sidescrollers, right? Your interview was one day. Right now, once again, was it a chapter of the show? Yes, 100%. Do we appreciate it? Yes, 100%. But like we were done. We've turned the page. Just like I don't watch your stuff on a day-to-day basis. Just like you don't watch our stuff on a day-to-day basis. I have too much going on to worry about what somebody else is doing online, right? So you know, you get brought up occasionally, but it's just part of the Sidescrollers chapter in our book at this point. Part of the lore, just like Sidescrollers is a part of yours. So you know, so yeah, I was pissed. So I went live and honestly, I will like to give credit to to my boy Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers for his, you know, monetize the hater thing. So yeah, I think I went live with a monetize the hater thing and just kind of railed for a little bit because I was tired. I don't remember the context of it. I was just tired of hearing you talk about us. So you know, it is what it is. Do I regret it? Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, you know, it's just part of what it is.
Okay. All right, I wanted to hear that straight from your mouth that this happened, because I was, you know, the truth is, Craig, I don't even know, because like you said, I don't watch your content, so I actually don't know the truth of what happens and what doesn't happen. I just hear people saying, are you aware that right now Craig has a stream called Monetize the Haters? He's making money off of your detractors. He's saying that he wants to be on your show. I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, you know, you're right. That's what it was. You were live. That's right. You were live, and I think you were talking shit about us or something along the lines, and you know, talking about how bad we were to you, and I was like, and this was another thing. We're like, look, I will come on your show right now and do exactly what we're doing. And this was, I don't even know how long ago this was. It was just like, let's just get done with this. And as I've said at the start of this, like, I reached out to you multiple times to do exactly this, to just get through this shit. And I told you, like, I don't care if it's on our channel or on your channel or some other channel, right? Let's just do it. So I was actually glad that you reached out because, you know, I don't think about you a whole lot, Phil, except for when people bring you up to me. And,
fair enough.
And you know, you're upset that people are like, you know, giving super chats because, well, maybe they enjoyed what we do, right? And I'm not going to say like, you know, some people were just excited to see that the interview was done. They were congratulating us for doing the interview.
They don't enjoy what you do. They enjoyed that you were bullying me. That's what it was. You were doing a whole stream, monetize the haters, and you were making money off of making fun of me, which is what everyone else does too.
Bill, why was I live? Because you were talking shit about us.
So, okay, now on my stream, was I sitting there saying, hey, Craig haters, come on the stream and dump on Craig, and let's accept all the donations for everyone who doesn't like Craig. Let's talk about all Craig's dirty laundry on my stream today. Did I ever do that, Craig?
So I don't know. I don't watch your stuff, but you're telling me.
No, I never did that. Not once. The only gripes I ever had with you was that how you behaved after the interview. That's literally it. That's the only problem I have with you. I don't have a problem with anything before or during the interview. It was the fact you left the door open for me to contact you. You ignored that line of contact. You did a harmful show. Because you know what? Now I got to talk about this publicly. All right. Are you aware that because you didn't give me the chance to defend myself after the interview, you did a bullying show where you ragged on me and I wasn't there to defend myself against any of that. Do you know how that hurt me and my viewers and my content? You
Okay,
probably don't.
Hold on. Let me just talk about this real quick. You're up, and by the way, this is something that I do want to talk about. You were upset that we went live and talked about this, and you were pissed that you weren't there to defend yourself.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You did a decompression show literally immediately after. You did a decompression show about Keemstar last week, and he wasn't there to defend himself. You did the exact same thing that we do, Phil.
Whoa. You just proved you don't watch my decompression shows. You just proved it. The decompression shows have nothing to do with talking about and ragging on the guest that just appeared. In fact, last week with Keem, I had a whole stream where I said, we are not going to talk bad about this man. Instead, we're just going to talk about the future, building bridges and things like that. We didn't say one negative word about Keem. I didn't accept negative contributions. I told my audience, do not contribute and insult Keem. And they didn't, because that's wrong. That's capitalizing on an already bad situation. Because now I'm going to talk, Craig. Please let me speak, okay?
Go crazy,
After the interview, I had to cancel a whole fucking show that I had planned that was called DSP Asks It. I had guests lined up to be on the show that I was going to interview. It was a big project that I had lined up for my React channel. I had to cancel it because the guest said, well, after the Sidescrollers appearance, they really dumped on you. It's not the interview we have issue with. It's the fact that they dumped on you. So now literally everyone who saw your interview thinks you're an asshole. So because of that, we're canceling. So I had to cancel the whole show. My followers came out and said, we didn't mind the interview. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Let me finish.
Okay.
After the interview, my followers said, we don't care about the interview. We care that they ragged on you after. Now it makes you look like an asshole. Now that makes us look like an asshole. We all want to be your fans, but how can we do it when the entire interview hates you now, right? And you don't understand. What you thought you were doing was decompression. Let's just be honest. But what you did is you gave more avenue for the people who already hated me to hate more. All you did was you gave a public grandstanding spectacle to my detractors. And the worst part about it, Craig, you publicly monetized it. You monetized bullying. That's the problem with what you did the day after. You hurt my business. You hurt my followers. You hurt me. You owe me an apology for that. I don't care about you not checking the interview. The email. I care about the fact that you not once, but then again later down the line, monetized hate against me. I literally never monetized hate against you ever. Ever.
Sure about that, Phil? You've never once monetized your hate against us? You never talked poorly about Sidescrollers?
Oh, I absolutely talked poorly about you, but I certainly didn't have entire shows based around it, inviting all of your detractors. Because you want to know something, Craig? They contacted me about this show. They said, here's all the dirt on Craig. And you want to know what I told them? This is the truth, Craig. I said, fuck you. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm better than that. I'm not going to talk about Craig's dirty laundry because that's not what this is about. I could have easily been doing that all along. Everyone has skeletons in the closet. We all know this, but I'm never going to be like that. I want to build bridges. I don't want to burn them. All right. At the end of this conversation today, I don't want to be at your throat. I don't want you to hate me. I just want us to be at peace. Even if we never speak again, I just want us to be at peace. I'm tired of this internet drama bullshit. But you hurt me bad with your behavior after that interview, and I want you to understand how bad it was for me. I had to hide for a year. And now to just show you, Craig, how different it could have been, did you see my appearance on Kino Casino recently and how different that went?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Kino Casino is a show over on Kick. They had me on. We joked about everything. We joked about WWE champions ever. We made a big laugh about it. But they also treated me like a respectful human. They didn't monetize hate against me. We had fun conversation. We watched video clips. We laughed. You want to know what it was? I was a guest on their show. Like I was supposed to be a guest on your show. But never happened because we did the interview. You want to know what happened? Public opinion has changed, Craig. You may not realize this. Right now, people like me for the first time in ages.
Right.
That's right. Because they gave me a chance. Because they didn't rag on me. They didn't bully me. They were bullying me. But once I personally talked to them nicely and say, hey, just have me as a guest, they, whoa, what the hell? So everything they say about you, actually isn't true. Well, not all of it. But the thing is that being treated kindly instead of being bullied and being monetizing the bullying led me to a redemption arc where now I'm finally fessing up to all the stuff I've done wrong. And it's all changing for the better, right? That could have happened with your interview. But that's not what you did.
We gave you an opportunity to fess up during the interview, Phil.
Which I couldn't do because I couldn't prove it during the interview. I had to get the information together, and I was going to do that, and you didn't give me the opportunity.
Well, no. Did you have any of that information available when you talked about this yesterday? All you did was you just talked. That's it. So all you needed to do 18 months ago was just talk, just like you did yesterday on your show.
No, right? Whoa. Now you're moving the goalpost. So first it was, the only way anyone was going to believe you is if you sent me all the documentation during the show. Well, now you're saying I could have just said whatever.
I'll give you this. But I will give you that, right? Documentation would have helped your case, 100%. With that said, Phil, like just you saying, yeah, I played WWE champions. Yeah, my name was this, whatever it was, right? And just saying those things, yeah, absolutely, that would have gone so far, right? And I feel like we extended the olive branch many times during that interview, right? And once again, you left that interview feeling good. Your point of contention is that after the show, we spoke honestly about our frustrations. Once again, why were we frustrated, Phil? Because we felt lied to, which was validated yesterday, literally yesterday.
Mhm.
Later on, did I do a monetize the hater stream? 100%. Why? Because you were talking shit about me, right? We've never gone out of our way to go off and say, hey, it's time to dump on Phil because it's fun to dump on Phil, right? We dumped because we were pissed at the time. The result of the interview, we felt lied to, once again, validated, and you were talking shit. So naturally, it was like, hey, and the idea of going live there was, let's go on Phil's show and hash it out like we're doing now. So look, Phil, I mean this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you were hurt. I'm sorry that your community was hurt. And I'm sorry that you felt that way for a long time. That's why I'm on this show. I want to help you close the door with this chapter, right? I'm not your enemy. In fact, I've been your biggest champion. I've gone out of your way, as in that email. I want to help you get to level 2, whatever that looks like, right? I said that continuously in every single email correspondence we've had. I've said, hey, I want to let you know, let's get together, let's hash this out, let's move forward, right? Every single time, even when it comes to inviting you on the show, our 1-year anniversary. Hey, Phil, come on the show, nothing serious. Let's just come on. It'd be fun. People would have it on. Hey, Phil, do you want Street Fighter 6 is coming out? You want to help hash this out? Let's just hash it out. Let's talk it out. It'd be a great way to build a bridge, which once again, that's something that you want to do. Listen, if we want to go with the build a bridge metaphor, I put down lots of wood over the last 18 months trying to build a bridge. And every single time the email wasn't responded to, or maybe you didn't check your email. I don't know, right?
Oh, I did check the email. It's just there's no way I'm going to be playing Street Fighter with a guy who doesn't play Street Fighter, where I'm not going to benefit from it whatsoever. You will, because you're going to get another boost from my appearance on your show playing Street Fighter. I'm not going to get a boost from that.
Phil, we could have done it on your channel. That's the thing. You didn't even respond. But isn't that the fun of it? The idea that you play Street Fighter 6, you lay into me for fucking 9 matches, you destroy me, you're the definitive champ, and all of a sudden the king is back.
Nobody cares about that, Craig. No one cares about you playing Street Fighter. What are you talking about?
But they care about us getting together, and Street Fighter is the conduit to do that. That's what I'm getting at. Move past the idea of Street Fighter 6, Phil. It's bigger than Street Fighter 6. The idea was just get together.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, here's the thing. You just apologized to me because I was hurt. I want you to apologize to me because you did it, because you know it was wrong.
I don't think it was wrong because like I said, yesterday, as you said yesterday, you lied to us. You lied to us. We felt that lie. We knew it was a lie. Look, was it reactionary? 100%. I'll say yes. It was wrong in that it was reactionary with the monetize the hate stream, right? That was a reactionary thing. Am I proud of it? No, right? And you know what, Phil? I'm going to do you one better. Give me a charity of your choice. Give me a charity of your choice. I will donate that day on that stream. We made $633.08. I will donate $633.08 to a charity of your choice.
Craig, if
will help close the book.
If you actually cared about anything that you're saying right now, you already would have donated that money. So you can do with it however you want. But the fact is, you have done absolutely nothing in this appearance to show any kind of responsibility or remorse for the things that you did regarding me, my community, or my reputation after the interview. And you've publicly admitted you didn't check the avenue that you could have gotten actual evidence of what I was going to tell you about the truth. So
I did not check the email.
So I don't really know I can help you anymore at this point. You know, it's like I've been saying to everyone recently. What's happened in the last month and a half is pretty remarkable. All right. Basically, everyone for the last like 10 years who really like messed with me and cheated on me, it's kind of all coming back. Karma, you know. Now, in your case, you're definitely not egregious. Okay. I want you to understand something. After today, I have no grudge against you whatsoever. All right. I'm going to act like none of this ever happened. Really. I mean it too. I'm going to act like none of this ever happened. We're just going to move on with our life. You're going in one direction. I'm going in another direction. All right. But you have to understand that, like, when you have a platform, you have a responsibility to be responsible with that platform. If you were going to have the big definitive Dark Side Phil interview, and even if you thought I had lied the entire interview, which I did about WWE champions, that's what I lied about, okay? You still have a responsibility after the fact to follow up. That's what you didn't do. You actually didn't do the most important part. What you did was the equivalent of if, let's say, Barbara Walters was going to interview a big prominent person. I don't know. We're going to make this up. Barbara Walters was interviewing Donald Trump.
I'm sorry that happened. And I'm sorry that your detractors gave us money, right? But you know what? It's going to happen again. It happened today. Somebody super chatted $2, you know, saying, hey, did you hear about this? Should I get that $1.40 back? Right? Like, I don't know how to handle that, Phil. And I'm not going to apologize for people who gave us money because they felt we either did a good job or we felt like we missed something or did you hear about this? I'm not going to apologize for that. I told you I will gladly I will gladly give that money to a charity, right? And I'll give it to a charity in your name, right?
Great.
But if you don't want that, that's fine, and that's totally okay.
I mean, I'm speechless. You actually think that giving that money to a charity a year and a half later is going to somehow make you look good or something? Like, what are you talking about?
No. I hope that I don't. I could care less. What I care about is helping you move on because you clearly are clinging on to this, right? And like I said, I'm sorry that this happened, right? But I'm not sorry for the words that you said, right? Once again, if somebody feels a certain way about you, it's based off your actions, right? I'm live 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. People see me, they know me by now, right? I've been doing this for almost 20 years. So people have a pretty good idea of me and my character. And for you to attack my character, I mean this with all due respect, Phil. Go fuck yourself because you don't know. I've gone out of my way, Phil, to treat you with respect via email the entire time. I've gone out of my way to treat you with respect and be courteous to you continuously. And I'm sorry that you're upset that I didn't check my email for 23 hours. I'm sorry for that. Like, and I'm sorry that I was pissed that you were talking shit about me, right? But I hope we can move past this. I really do. And I hope that this helps you turn the page. Will it do it? Probably not. But one thing that I do really hope is I hope that people don't send you super chats in regards to me. But no, I hope people send you lots of money in regards to me. I hope I'll be the first one talking about myself. And I'll send you a super chat momentarily here in just a few minutes.
I don't want you to send me any super chat. Great.
But I want to.
Well, I can't stop you. If you really have to do it, I mean, go. I can't stop you from doing it. I don't want any money from you. I don't want anything from you. Really, at this point. Like, you literally, in a situation here where we were being completely cordial, you just told me to go fuck myself publicly on the stream. You realize that, right?
Why?
I didn't do it. You did.
Why? Because you attacked my
No, not why. You did it. We were being cordial. I just had an entire show with Keem last week, and I have way more gripes with Keem than I have with you, and that never happened.
Did you attack Keem's character?
Oh, yeah. Of course I did. And he went back at me, and we went back and forth, and we hashed it out. Yeah.
Listen, then Keem should have told you to go fuck yourself.
All right, so there you go. Folks, there you have it. There you have it. Night and day. I mean, you can't. That's all. I mean, really, honestly. But we're over. I'm sorry. I'll apologize for two things. I'll apologize, number one, that I did lie to you during the interview.
Which that was wrong. To everything we're talking about.
That was wrong. And number two, I apologize to the public that I lied for so many years, but I already did that last night on my own show, so they already know about that. All right. And I'll apologize to you now because we're taking too much of your time, and I know you got to get go. All right.
So let me close with this.
You close, and then I'll close, and we'll be good.
Okay.
You close first.
I want you to really think about your actions here, right? Think about this logically. Please do. Why were we pissed the next day? Why? I'm asking you. Why were we pissed?
Oh, you want me to answer?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds to me like you wanted me to come clean on your show and get a really great piece of content out of it because it was going to be the definitive time when DSP admits to everything that everyone's been saying that he's been doing for so long. And when I didn't do that, you basically had a nothing burger of an interview. 5 hours of a nothing burger of an interview. But it was good for my detractors. They wanted to crap on me, so it was a good piece for them, but you didn't have anything for anyone else. So it didn't give you what you were looking for in the product. That was the problem. You were really hoping you were going to get the big confession. That's why you kept putting me on the spot about send me the screenshot, when we had never discussed that before the interview. You didn't get it. So you got upset about it. And that's why you didn't check your email, because you couldn't get the moment anymore in the interview. You thought you had wasted 5 hours of your time. And what you said was, well, now I'm going to get him back for that tomorrow. I'll make that money in this nice destruction show that we'll do on Friday. That's actually what happened.
You're wrong about all that.
Okay, right? Fair enough. But you asked me for my opinion, so there's you go.
Sure. And that also tells me where your head's at. We were mad because we were lied to. Had you not lied, none of this would have happened. If you were just clear and honest with us, like you've been like you were yesterday, none of this would have happened. We could have moved on. It would have been like, yeah, do we think it's full of shit? That's fine. And would the Friday stream have happened the way it did? Probably not. Right? Would the monetize the hater stream have happened? Probably not. Because if you just were honest from the start, none of this would have happened. So you can point the finger at me all day long. But at the end of the day, Phil, what's the old saying? You still got 3 more pointing back, right? Back at you. So look, I'll take my responsibility. I hope you look within yourself and you take some responsibility in this as well, right? And that's fine. I do hope that we can eventually work together in the future in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you come on Sidescrollers and we do a regular show. If you don't want to deal with a politics-driven show that isn't whatever you said, right? You were extremely nice with your words, and by nice I'm being sarcastic right now. And when you told us to go fuck ourselves and all that stuff, so I would like to give you a fair shake someday on Sidescrollers if you're open to it. Like I said, I want to make sure that you and everybody else knows that I am open to working with you in some way, shape, or form. But I hope more than anything, I hope you're honest. not just with your audience, but with yourself about the situation. I appreciate your time today, Phil. I got some dad duties I got to get done. Thank you guys very much for your time.
All right.
And,
Now hold on. Before you go, let me say my piece too. All right.
Sure.
It'll be quick. I promise.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the end. There's no more feud between you and me. Do you agree? That's it. We're done. We can stop going at each other's throats.
Dark Side Phil here. The only detractor channel that I watch is Duty Streams.